Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sidekicks.com. I'm one of your hosts, Flat Up 503, and I'm joined by my buddy, Mr. Rob.
Fat Stax So Comics. Hey, how you doing there, comic friends and fiends?
And now he's fat stacks of briskets. By his last, I was so hungry this morning after I watched that. I was like, damn. It looks so good when you were cutting. You're like, oh, the stomachs are growling at my house right now, and mine too. So.
Yeah, we were having my in-laws over for dinner, so I was like at the end, I was like, oh, I'm listening to this thing because I was recording my phone. I don't record my phone much, and that ambient mic, so I felt obligated to explain all these noises that were going on throughout that video.
It was a good video.
The dog, like, all you can hear is these nails, these giant claws of the basset hound walking across the hardwood floors.
All right. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the return of cons. They're coming back. Super excited. But before we get into that, let's welcome to some of the people in the audience. We got Mr. James Willie. What is going on? The White Shadow himself, Mr. Chip Getler. There you go, Rob. Good job.
I got my BAM box stopped me from rolling out of pan.
Mr. Nick's Kicks and Comics, AO. Mr. Las Crucias 1971. My buddy, Mr. Gary B, the casual one. Then we got Joe, Anachronic Comics. Joe, would you please let Bruno get more mystery boxes for God's
I still have
sake?
to watch Bruno. I haven't watched that one yet.
Bruno.
It's on my to-do
list. I love
list,
Joe, but Bruno is so good. Gotta love Bruno. What is up to Cover Collector? What is up, Mrs. Super Jessie, my beautiful wife? Mr. DJ Links is in the house. Getting a haircut.
Get that beard trimmed.
Yeah, getting his beard done. Getting his soul glow on, everybody.
That's what I missed. The only thing I missed about the full beard was getting to go to the barber shop again.
What is up, Mr. Arcade Pop? Back at it again. We got Mr. Soul Twice. What a do, Pikachu. Digger Jim. My guy and your guy and everybody's guy. The Don. Jimmy himself. And there we go. That's everybody. So let's start off with our weekly pickups, Rob. So why don't you start since you're the guest this week?
All right. Last of my X-Force ended on a nice round number because I'm OCD. Issue 20. I'm done reading that. But I'm happy to see season 2 kickoff of Batman Adventures continue, and even happier to see the Court of Owls making their way. I thought, the Court of Owls was just absolutely amazing in the new 52, one of the greatest introductions, and I'm super happy to see them get some due. Some Batman, Catwoman, and including, I had to get the Jim Lee cover. Of course, our man there, Anachronic Comics, called this one out as one of his covers to make sure you look at. So, I had to grab it.
I missed that one.
Let's see. Oh, and then for some reason, I ended up with the third one, too. I did not want that one, but I missed that they stuck it in my box and whatever. Batman 109 hit. And with that, of course, the 1 in 25, my comic book shop scared me at first because he didn't pull it for me. He goes, "Oh, I only had you down through 108." I'm like, "No, I want all those covers." Fortunately, he moved them off of the main shelf and moved them behind the counter so people wouldn't steal them. That was another 109. The Marvel franchise that's a chore every week to read. And then the Marvel franchise that I'll consume anything and everything they put out practically because I'm a geek of the Star Wars universe. So we got the various incentives. There are 3 different incentives this week. But I'm not picking up any of the books from retailer exclusives this week on this title. So
I actually missed out on that one as well. That's the story of Boba Fett, right? When he's transporting Han to Jabba the Hutt.
That's kind of the whole War of the Bounty Hunters seems to be this based around that.
All right, I'm going to go through this quick, everybody. I picked up all the books I missed last week from DC, plus all the books this week. So we'll go really quick. We got Tankers, number 2. We got The Nice House on the Lake, number 1. Rob, that's a DC book, and actually, when I read it at first, I didn't realize it was DC. I thought it was an indie book. I don't know if you'd be into, but it's a good book. Basilisk, #1, another good read. I sent Super Jesse to the LCS this week, so I wasn't in trouble for spending the money this time. Which I don't. I never get in trouble, but we spent a lot.
She got to find out how much you're spending.
She knows how much I spend. Trust me. This is the 1 in 15 variant, I think, or one. I don't know, one per store possibly. And then we got some Walking Dead here for Mrs. Super Jessie. A bunch of those actually. So she's just as bad as me. It's a habit, right? We got the Cult of Dracula, #3. I picked up a couple more of these because I think they're going to be big, so I bought 2 more. Then we got. You didn't get this one? The Trash and Lobo?
No, I'm not a Lobo.
The Main Man? I'm a big fan of the Main Man, but yeah. So then you got this one here. The Pride Month cover. Yeah. Then we got Out of Body, #1. Got the 1 in 15 cover of that as well. It's only cost $10, so a variant of for $10 isn't bad. Then you got Noctera, the Jenny Frizen.
Somehow I didn't grab that one. I grabbed issues 3 and 2 incentives off the rack this week that were still hanging around, but forgot to grab issue
4. We're going still, folks. We got Scumbag #8, Firepower #12. See, this is the bounty hunter that Jesse picked up. War of the Bounty Hunters.
Oh yeah, one of the regular variants.
Is it the same book?
It is the same book. There was just like 3 variants plus 3 incentives or something like that, and that was one of the when I looked and saw that I had 3 incentives in my box plus the A title, I decided that I wasn't gonna pick up the others. I have to put my kids through college, not theirs.
So we got the other Batman, the Fortnite. I as well got this one.
Yes.
And right. The incentive there.
Oh, I missed that. How did I miss that?
It was only $11, Rob, so
I don't care.
You should get that one. It's a nice one. We got the Detective Comics.
Oh, that was last week's stuff, yeah.
Yeah. This is probably a lot of the last week's stuff.
Yeah.
109, some more 109, some more 109, and some more 109.
Yeah.
So there we have it. That's the few comics that I picked up.
Well, that's all the time we had for today, folks. No.
That's all the time we have. Holy cow. So yes. Quite the pickup there. So yeah, so comic book cons coming back.
That's the rumor we hear.
There's a ton of them. Like I was on the computer today researching all these different cons, and there's so many of them coming up. There's multiple a month all over the place. There's a lot going on in Australia coming up. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. They're coming back. And the one that we're most really excited about, right, is C2E2 because we're all going.
Well, yeah, a lot of us are getting ready, or a lot of us in this group chat even here are talking about going out there. Reservations have been made, et cetera, et cetera. That's at the end of the year, but we got to build ourselves up to that. And fortunately, I think as America opens back up, we've got ourselves, it's almost like spring training. We have the way that we're opening back up here. We've got, at least where I'm at, what we're seeing are starting to be some of the little local smaller communities are having little comic / pop culture cons, or libraries that are having some various cons. Like my city does their library has one. I was just out last week at a a collector's con, which was held inside of a shopping mall. So it was basically the shopping mall was open, and it was just down the center of the entire shopping mall where people had booths and they were selling stuff. And it was an opportunity to get out and go check out some stuff and look at everything from books to pops and all the usual stuff that you see. There was even cosplayers, and the Wolves of Mandalore were there giving lectures and are talking to people about their building your own costumes and cosplay stuff.
Nice.
And we're starting to see that, I'm starting to see more and more of these little ones pop up on the map throughout the summer. before we hit some of the big ones going out. That'll be coming up on the crux there,
Nice,
or on the
Jim.
schedule.
Jim says he's going to Steel City Con next week. Yeah, so they're definitely opening up, and like DJ just did to a small
Comic
little
basement.
the 3 Men in the Basement and their little get together they had, and just watching that video is just, I mean, and hearing about all these cons coming up has got me pumped up. So what are you most excited about, just out of curiosity?
Just getting out and getting a chance to see something different than other Milo story. It's really weird. I live in a big area. I mean, I don't live in Podunk, no place where I only have one LCS.
Like me?
Yeah, I mean, I actually live in the heart of Silicon Valley, and there's a bunch of comic book stores. But for whatever reason, I'm a creature of habit, and I go to one, and I don't make the effort to go out to others. So I'm seeing the same inventory, and I'm anxious to go to a con to go see a variety of different inventory brought to me at one place. But there's going to be differences of what we can expect. I think so far from what I've started to see is, the cons are going to be more of a shopping experience, at least early on, it seems. And less, there might be some demonstrations or exhibits, but it seems that a lot of the ones I'm seeing, at least in California, are advertising like no panel discussions, or if they are, it's going to be like, pre-recorded virtual stuff. You're not getting a couple hundred people to gather in a room and close the doors and in that closed space have somebody talk to you about whatever the topic is, right? So that seems to be what's one of the changes I'm seeing.
Yep. And like, I wonder how they're going to do how we're going to get, like, are we going to get all these big name, like comic artists, you know what I mean, to do signings? Are we going to, all these big name, like people, like movie actors and role actors, is it going to be like it was prior, or do you think it's going to be like toned down quite a bit as far as?
Yeah, I think some of the bigger names are kind of on a wait and see. Where I know I'm seeing like Silicon Valley Comic Con, or well, I shouldn't. I don't call it that anymore. Silicon, which has become like a Makers Fair / comic book thing, but it's the big one, and it's run by Adam Savage of Mythbusters fame out here in the heart of in San Jose. They have, some actors, Lou Ferrigno is going to be there, or they've announced will be there. And, a few other big names, but I mean, they're not doing as much comic stuff as they are doing much more builder stuff now. So they're like really emphasizing a lot of like some of the creators and the well-known cosplayers that they're getting out. Some of the other smaller ones, I've seen some smaller names pop up on some of the lists. I do know that I think Jim Lee is going to something one of these torpedo cons or something.
There's one in Vegas that's coming up soon, actually, in Vegas.
Something
Torpedo Con is what it's called.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's that one that he's going to or not, because I've been in contact with one of my facilitators on a book that I have. I was trying to see if I could get it back in time for a December signing. I was thinking to send it to for Jim Lee. He goes, "Oh, I got a Jim Lee signing. He's going to be at this event coming up in June. I can get it done." I'm like, "Oh, what?"
Send it to Eddie. Have him drive up to Las Vegas and get it signed, right?
No,
as long as he doesn't throw it behind him.
He'll get it lost like one of his grandkids. No, we love you, Eddie.
We do.
Don't think we're picking on you. I don't want to hear.
He ain't watching this anyway. Come on. If Eddie's watching this, I'm just messing with him. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet people in the community.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like Jimmy was saying, he's a big hug guy, and there's probably going to be all these stipulations where you have to stay so far apart. Jimmy's just going to be blasting through all those stipulations, giving everybody hug after hug after hug.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The C2, E2, when they initially announced everything, and we don't know what it'll be like come December, but their initial release said that, hey, look, masks are going to be required, and there's not going to be any hugging allowed or handshaking or something. So you got to come up with like some other freaking thing. Now, who knows? That was like when they announced it a month and a half, 2 months ago, and now there's been a lot more final, scientific
Things are opening
study.
up more.
Well, not just things are opening up, but some actual testing and true science is supposed to, a lot of the early regulations that were put on this whole stuff was based off of just normal assumptions of a standard infectious disease versus today there's been a lot, we have some actual science behind how this thing had spread and what actually does not. And we know that contact, handshaking and stuff is a very minimal risk factor. So, Jimmy's going to be able to get in there and, as long as he maybe turns his head, he's all good.
Yeah.
But what are they going to, if they throws him out, fine. Then Jimmy and I will just sit at the bar drinking whiskey all damn day and we'll still be fine.
And once you drink enough whiskey, you'll probably end up right back in the Comic-Con.
Spending too much money.
Very, very, very possible. What is up, Marty?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the thing, right? As we go into this whole thing is, it's again, I'm trying to think of, okay, let me slow my roll here on some of the spending I've been doing now, because I need to start banking that for for once we're on the floor of the con, because we've replaced that expenditure, right? And so we have to start thinking about that and all the signings and stuff that I've been doing and all this other stuff. I start going, okay, let me start thinking about this. What's going on? And we got to transition that, and that's something that probably some of the rest of us have to worry about as well.
Absolutely. I'm sure people have noticed on my channel, I've cut back a lot on the mystery boxes. It's just, I've been cutting the stuff out of the budget because, like you said, the cons are coming up and we've been spending that money that we would normally spend on stuff like that on these mystery boxes, on all these other things. And I don't have an endless supply of money. So, we're
going to be back in the situation where we can haggle face to face.
Exactly.
Where it's harder for a person's normal inclination isn't to say no, right? You try to haggle on eBay. I mean, people can very easily no, decline, forget you, buy, right?
It's easy to tell someone no when you don't have to look them in the face.
Exactly. I mean, you're having a conversation, developing a relationship, and you get to go to stuff. I mean, you're going to be able to have that and get a better deal. Yeah, and it's be less no's, and you're gonna all these other things are going on. And not only that, some stuff that may open up that's available that you wouldn't find with the new algorithm from eBay. Watch our show from the other week. And you'll be able to actually see books and touch things and all this other stuff. And of course, then there's always like the candy at the checkout aisle. It's sitting there in front of you. It speaks a whole lot louder than just something that's saved to
you. Got all this stuff you're ready to buy, but you have to just like that one last thing over here. You're like,
it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the watch list. so yeah, I mean, those are all things. I mean, that's the thing I would almost say is the biggest thing for everyone right now, unless you are just an independently wealthy individual, in which case, how you doing?
Congratulations. Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, right. Jesse is absolutely right. Haggling. I'm horrible at haggling because I was in the sales field forever. And to me, like, I know how hard it is to sell someone something. So I'm a big laydown. If you're willing to talk to me and give me your sales pitch and it's not just something completely useless, I'll buy. Like, we went to this antique store and I bought these giant concrete gargoyles, right? And the lady gave me $20 off. And then I went again to get the second one. And I totally forgot what I paid. And I was like, can I get the same deal as last time? She's like, sure. What'd you pay? And I'm like, $70. And I was thinking to myself, I think that's what I paid. And then I get back to the gargoyle. And that's actually what she had on the damn thing to begin with, what she was asking. So I didn't even get a discount. So I'm horrible at haggling.
Yeah, no, I like you, I worked retail sales for a long time in my youth, and but I worked in the electronics industry in specialty stores and stuff where we were doing the haggling and the tricks of how to get people to think that you're giving them a better deal and all this other fun stuff was part of it. So it's all good, man. It's and as James is saying here, because my packages get searched on the way to Canada, I know how to fake things for customs. So
yeah, I'm not a very good haggler. I'll go in. I'm a great tipper. That's what I'm good at. I'm great at tipping people. I'm not good at haggling at all. If someone wants $10, I'll be like, I'll give you a 9, and I feel like
Well,
I
it's
got a
time to go
deal.
visit some garage sales and get your skills up, brother. But
I
even
tried
still,
that last year, and
even
we had
if you're
fun.
not a great haggler, though, I mean, just when building up a reputation with somebody, I found that if you're talking to somebody face to face and you're expressing an interest in a book and you build any kind of connection with them, it's very oftentimes that price that they have on that book is probably the price, assuming that you're going to haggle and that they're going to sell
Yes.
it for less, right? So especially on the bigger books, so th- they'll almost, if you just almost just sit there and wait a little bit and showing some interest in looking at it and just don't even say a word, they'll throw out the first, because people don't like silence. They'll throw
No.
out the freaking first pitch, right? And maybe that's, hey, you know what? That's fair. You're good, and you're not a haggler. Great. Well, you already paid less than thing, or all you have to do is, hey, can you do any better? Oh, I could do $50 off. Okay, great. It's if you just want to play it easy, that's fine. You still got a good deal. It's better than
Right.
eBay fees and shipping and
Shipping and hoping that when it gets there, it's what you
taxes.
think it is. And yeah, because at least when you're at the cons, you can. Whenever you go to a con too, like I'm sure everyone else is just as guilty of this as me, or maybe not. Like when I go to a store, a comic store, and I'm going for a specific thing to get my books, to get exactly what I go to get, I always leave with multiple things that I didn't plan on getting because they were just there and you see them.
Impulse shopping.
I'm a very much an impulse shopper, especially, and that's what I miss the most about all these things being closed and stuff. I don't have that option. Like I
Mhm.
can look on eBay. It's not the same impulse shopping whenever you're looking and you got to wait for it. I need that instant gratification of I bought this soda and now I can drink it.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I mean that's for me. So like when we look at these cons, for me it's perfect. I'm not really a big panel guy. I go to when I go to like cons in the past with my sister. She loves to sit in panels and listen to these discussions and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. I spent this hour and a half listening to this person how they made this piece of armor, and now I'm in here how this person does this. And you know what? I'm not going to do any of that. So I for me, I enjoy the walking around and the shopping, whether it's window shopping or actual buying stuff and looking at all the things and checking out all the different people there and hanging out and interfacing, right? That to me is the greatest part. So these little intro, how we seem to be opening up to, this is like my wheelhouse. And I'm like, this is going to be great.
Yep.
And, that gets me excited and hitting ready to go out to, add on the fact that so many of you guys that are watching this, that we've made connections via Instagram, via YouTube here or whatever else, to get to meet some of you guys is going to be great. And meet some of you guys is going to be awful. And we're going to run and hide. And, but, but some of you guys, it's going to be great. And you know who you are. No, you guys will all be running from me. Probably it's like, wow, that's a fucking
Damn, there's that fat guy with the
God
flat opinion.
damn, he's so
Oh, yeah.
annoying. He never shuts up, doesn't let Jason talk.
Sure he does. Every so often. No, it's going to be good. I mean, I'm with you. I can spend all day perusing aisle after aisle after aisle of stuff. If it's comic book related or collectible related, action figures, cards, any of that stuff, I mean, it's going to be amazing. And then throw in the top, on top of it, that you could possibly meet some of your favorite artists right now, or possibly some of the better writers out there right now, and stand in line for however long and get an autograph. To do that, that would be.
I've had more fun actually some of the places where they have some of the they'll have the big name artists that doing all that stuff where they're doing stuff, but I've had some more fun walking down some of the artist alleys where you have some of the lesser known artists or some of the smaller guys, and where you could actually sit there and have conversations with them. And yeah, I mean, you've done stuff where I've been there and I've talking to some guy about his book, Lady Machina, Benitez, I think it is, and about Lady Machina, and I was like, oh hey, I really like I really dig this whole steampunk stuff, all this stuff. We're just having a conversation, and he's like, "Oh, dude, if you want to pick up one of these trade paperbacks, I'll draw on it for you." All right, cool. And he freaking do a sketch on trade paperback for me. It's like I paid $5 for the book, and he does out a sketch, and it's like wasn't looking for any of that. He's just had a good time having a conversation.
That'd be an experience. The next thing you know, the guy's doing a big book, and he's big, and you're like, hey, I remember meeting that guy and talking to him and having a conversation about this. Like, you guys have ever watched Freaky Louie and his con adventures? Dude, watching that dude in his con adventures of these people he's meeting in his cos. Do you plan on cosplaying? That's another question.
I have an idea potentially. I don't do a lot of cosplaying. I have in the past. I've most recently did a steampunk Han Solo, and I have an idea for C2E2, but I'm not like an elaborate builder of like. You're not gonna see me all of a sudden in this crazy armor, and you're not gonna see my cleavage hanging out either. But
well, if I can't see that cleavage hanging out, Rob, I don't want to see it.
It'll be the butt cleavage as Mario, the plumber.
That would be epic. Oh. Mario and Luigi. Now, I've actually never cosplayed, and after watching Freaky Louie do the cosplays and stuff, I started looking because he does these cosplay things, and he does these things where he goes and does these charity things for kids events where he dresses up like these superheroes. And dude, that touched me right here in the heart. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, that would be epic.
No, that's just amazing stuff right there.
Yeah, so I told Jesse we need to look for some outfits. We need to look for some cosplay outfits and look into doing stuff like that when things open up, because that would be great. And then I got to thinking, well, C2E2 is coming up. Are we going to dress up? And the answer is yes. We're going to dress up. So.
I'm pinging you guys on something anyways amongst the group, because I actually had a very simple idea for a group thing for one day potentially. So I'll let you guys know. But so when I cosplay in the bedroom, what? Jimmy, do you mean the Rob cosplay show? Oh yeah, I don't know who's gonna be Theo. I don't understand. But anyways, so one of the things that we start to kind of go into, the other thing I'm curious, I've still been trying to sort out is which day is the best day for shopping. Is it the first day when everything is there? Is it the last day when they're trying to pack things up, or is it in the middle?
Right? Who knows?
I mean, it's always great to see the things first day, but a lot of some of those items disappear.
That's what it was. That's what I was thinking. The Cosby Show is the joke he was making of Theo from the Cosby Show.
Rob Cosby is okay. Cosplay show. Okay. I get it now. I'm slow on the uptick. We're supposed to forget about Mr. Pudding Pops.
Mr. Pudding Pops. God. No one wants. Yeah. Jimmy's gonna dress up like Cosby for cosplay. There you go, Jimmy. There's an idea for you. Get you a little sweater and stuff.
Yeah.
Enough about Cosby. God. You're going to the bar with him, Rob. You better watch out.
I heard he's doing okay for himself, so that's all right.
Jim says he gets better deals on the last day when it comes. I bet at the cons, if I can just not spend my money the first few days and hold on to it until the very last day, I'll probably get the best deals.
If you still have some money to buy some drinks at the end of the con before we all go home.
That's the problem. I'm not real good at holding on to money when I go on a trip. Like, me and Super Jesse's last trip we went on, it's not that, I'm horrible, but I'm horrible. I like to go do everything. You know what I mean? Even if it's the first day, I'm like, what else can we do? So, yeah.
I don't know what show. The only kids show I know that Bill Cosby did was Fat Albert. I don't know. I don't remember anything else. Not like Romper Room, although I remember Romper Room.
Fat Albert?
Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah. So, anyways, we reached our 30 minutes here. We are 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or it's like
So
Mark
moral of
likes
the
to call
so
it.
the moral of the
Fairy
story
tale.
is start training now. And what we mean by training, because this is going to be these big cons, these are like the Olympics, right? Get out there, hit your small ones, start building up your people contact skills and avoidance skills and your haggling skills, and start spanking some money right now on the side. And when we get out there to see to buy me a drink. Just kidding.
Just bring a bottle on the plane, and yeah.
God knows American Airlines ain't gonna let you get drink on the plane. But you bring it on the plane, you can only bring 3 ounces. So those are like,
Just bring a lot of them. I got this big duffel bag. It's all clanging around. What do you got in there? Nothing. Just a bunch of 3-ounce shots. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Oops, what did I do? God, Rob.